The history of SMSP has been closely bound to the history of New Caledonia with its institutional and societal changes. More than a mere tool for industrial development, the company has been a key lever for economic rebalancing between the northern and southern provinces and a major economic player that has made nickel metallurgy the spearhead for the development of a modern economy in the northern province. Economic partner, driver of change and visionary, SMSP has played a vital role in the country's recent history. The story begins in 1990 when Sofinor, the economic arm of the brand new northern province created by the 1988 Matignon-Oudinot agreements, acquired SMSP, setting the stage for economic development in the north and guaranteeing access to mining resources, as SMSP did not possess any mining title. The challenge was on, but the company was yet to prove itself. Over the following years, SMSP would build up a portfolio of mining assets, making it the leading mining company in the northern province. It was the beginning of a success story. Between 1991 and 1995, the company focused on building up a mining assets portfolio considered key to its future development. Initially, it turns its attention to the Japanese market, buys disused mines and Caledonian mining companies in difficulty. This pays off, and by 1995, SMSP is world leader in ore exports. In 1996, SMSP's international ambitions come to fruition. In order to set up the northern plant in Vavutu, it requires a major player in the world nickel market. This is Falconbridge, a Canadian giant in the sector. SMSP's development is closely linked to the Northern Authority's ability to influence the course of history and deliver historic commitments. In 1998, the Bercy Agreement is signed, guaranteeing SMSP access to resources on the Koniambo Massif. A few months later, the Noumea Agreement will lay the foundations for political stability in New Caledonia for the next 20 years. At the head of SMSP since 1990, Raphael Pidgeot and André Dang are the driving force behind the company's success. But 10 years later, in November 2000, tragedy strikes. SMSP suddenly loses most of its high officials. The helicopter carrying young President Raphael Pidgeot, the managing director Jean-Pierre Lapouze, the finance director Régis Vivier, the mines director Jean-Pierre Gastaldi, and two Canadian experts, Pierre Tolo and Robert Gardiner, including the pilot Jean-Marc Dalmasso, crashes over New Caledonia's Central Mountain Range. It is a huge blow, but the company remains undeterred. Recently retired André Dang has to resume his position as CEO, taking the company down the chosen path. No doubt it is this ability to remain united around a common vision that gives SMSP its human dimension. Its historical roots have enabled the company to give the men and the women a unique opportunity to rise to this major industrial challenge. And this challenge is taking shape. Everything to ensure the company's growth is now in place, culminating in a 60,000 tonne per year metallurgical company located in the Vavutu industrial area. The company embarks on a real new industrial venture. Now, more than ever, since 1990, the company anchors its future in this land of the north. But if access to resources on the Koniambo Massif is now guaranteed, this unique project still needs to be made locally relevant. An unprecedented consultation process involving the population of the northern province is initiated. The project begins to take root at the very heart of the province. Plans become reality. Key projects are launched, one of the most ambitious worldwide projects that go hand in hand with the changes that lie ahead and bear witness to the joint efforts of the company and the Northern Province authorities. But this industrial super project, one of the most ambitious in the world, called for a significant strengthening of the project as SMSP's financial resources are limited. In 2006, when there is no going back on the decision to build the plant, Falconbridge is taken over by Xstrata. With nickel prices soaring, the project costs rise and SMSP is forced to make a capital increase to confront this new reality. In a masterstroke, the company's management opens the Chinese market and sets up another major joint venture with the South Korean steel giant POSCO. Despite its low-grade ore resources, SMSP succeeds in equipping itself with the means to ensure success. It builds a plant in Korea, creating an indestructible bond between its mining assets upstream and Korean metallurgy downstream, and transforming what could have been a liability into a lever for success. It develops a new way to optimize mining resources for the country's benefits. Despite the major changes brought about by the effervescence of the international nickel market, SMSP never failed to live up to its commitments, and its new partner Xstrata remained committed to the North Plant project. In 2007, work begins on the two plants in New Caledonia and Korea. 2008 sees the commissioning of the Korean plant in Gwangyang, of which SMSP owned 51%. In 2010, 20 years since the venture began, the first modules for the North Plant, built in China, arrive in New Caledonia to be assembled. The Korean plant had meanwhile been running at full tilt a year ahead of schedule. But if the company's strategy has proven effective, it is primarily by men and women involved and their unfailing determination that have ensured its success story. Men who are daily in the heart of an integrated industrial process that runs from the mining to the plant with significant economic benefits for the country. The entire experience and the professionalism of these preliminary steps embark the company on the mining adventure. Commercially workable saprolite and limonite horizons are excavated using back diggers, and extracted products are then transferred by truck to sorting areas. A mechanized broom is taking place. It is there during extraction that the country's wealth development makes sense. Followed by the steps leading to the final export to Gwangyang plant. The requirements are best ore, right content, proper moisture and acidity to meet the electric furnace's technical requirements. The ore stockpiled in the mine will now have to be haulaged to the sea edge, just like the watering track, which reduces the dust on the operation sites and driving areas. This exploitation activity phase is subcontracted to local companies. This is an SMSP fundamental anchorage point in the social fabric of the North. It's a historical relationship with families investing in mining, an involvement of northern communities who give the company its local legitimacy. It's the image of a Caledonian company. Turned and returned, spread out, the ore will be dried with the joint action of sun and wind. The mineral tanker is out there. The casual workers from the surrounding tribes are mobilized. Loaders get into action. The comings and goings, movement of lorries discharging their precious contents into barges at berth begins. At the same time, northern NGOs or associations contribute with the preparation of workers' meals that are delivered on the sea edge loading site. The tugboats are at work. Crews experienced with difficult manoeuvres are hard working. Up there on the deck, crane operators and chainmen take over, transferring the contents from barges to the ship's cargo holds. After 14 days' journey at sea, mineral tankers arrive at the SNNC port. SNNC is the first Korean producer of ferro-nickel and a subsidiary of SMSP POSCO partnership. The great modern Gwangyang plant is extended over a total area of 200,000 square meters. Unloaded ore will be transported to the storage zone by a 4 kilometers land conveyor. The stockyard includes New Caledonia's ores loaded from Wako, Poya, Nakiti and Kuwawa centers. Screened, mixed and homogenized, the ore is then transferred to the processing plant to proceed with the second stage of the industrial process. The SNNC technology power is fully expressed at this stage. An unusual furnace, ribs of 8.1 meters high and 22.2 meters diameter, a maximum output power of 94 megawatts. Thus, in the heart of the industrial process of transformation of ore is the largest and most ever existing powerful furnace to date. The crude processed metal is then refined through desulfurization, leading to the final production of ferro-nickel pellets. Beyond the technological performance, the Gwangyang modern site is also recognised by its environmental conservation process. 23% of the site's areas are dedicated to green space. The limitation of dust emission from the transport or processing of the ore is guaranteed throughout the process chain, with 26 dedicated collectors. SNNC uses a world-unique treatment process to exhaust the rotary kiln's gases, and produced dust are processed into pellets, which in turn are reintroduced into the process to improve the nickel recovery rate. It is this commitment of SNNC, the leading company in the sector of the use of modern environmental technologies, that can also be found in mining. With the same determination to limit the environmental impacts, the SMSP mining branch has built the required structures to comply with the current protection of environment standards. Even if the technological expertise and innovation are in SMSP's heart of the industrial adventure, its future business depends more than ever on its industrial strategy. The company must maintain a permanent control of Caledonian interests while developing industrial partnerships despite its small size. 2011 reflects this strategy and the SMSP commitments. With its POSCO Korean partner, SMSP proceeds to increase its production capacity with an extension of the plant in Gwangyang, which will increase its nickel production capacity from 30,000 to 54,000 tonnes. The entire partnership with POSCO is the third largest French industrial investment ever built in Korea. The SMSP capacity to manage international projects is also a fact on the Caledonian floor. With a planned production input in 2012, the northern plant has had its costs reviewed. Thanks to the guarantee of the northern province, the involvement of its president, Paul Néo-Houtin, and the active support of the French Development Agency, the long-term commitment of the institution, alongside the business company, will contribute to pursue the policy of economic rebalancing between the north and the south. Finally, the year 2011 was earmarked by the strong support of the French state through the visit of the President of the Republic on the northern plant site. Accompanied by the Minister of Overseas Territories, Marie-Louise Ponchard, Nicolas Sarkozy has loudly voiced and confirmed France's commitment. Just imagine me as the President of the Republic, the emotion of being in the Northern Province, alongside the President of the Northern Province presenting the mining project, one of the biggest mining projects in the world, and meeting Melanesian managers telling me the pride that is theirs to have acquired these skills. Are you aware of the path you have travelled? The mining project is a strategic issue for New Caledonia and France. You need the support of the state. I will be very careful as head of state on the stability of the capital. It is on this path that SMSP has undertaken 21 years ago, and on this same path that its industrial strategy continues to build on for the country's economic development. The company represents both the principal economic development lever in Northern Province and the driving force for the diversification, the activities surrounding the major mining projects. All sectors are concerned: the planning, development and construction of housing, agro-food sector, consisting of several activities such as aquaculture and deep-sea fishing, packaging and marketing of seafood, and finally the area of tourism and hotels located in natural, authentic and varied settings. For the Northern Province, the objective is to benefit from a mastered exploitation of mining resources and to develop a long-term diversified and competitive economy, a central element of the economic rebalancing initiated 20 years ago by the Matignon-Oudinot agreements. Thus, during 2 decades, the company has been experiencing an outstanding industrial adventure, but above all a human adventure. From 120 employees in 1990 to presently more than 6,000 direct and indirect jobs in New Caledonia, SMSP has provided new employment opportunities to local populations through various professions, offering women real job opportunities in a traditionally male world. It is this Caledonian kaleidoscope which gave SMSP the means of its success, enabling this country's local company to become a major player in the economic development expected by all the Caledonians.